In this video, we're going to do some modeling with our right triangle trig skills. So first, we're just going to kind of review what we can do with SOHCAHTOA. So this one, if it ever says solve the triangle, it means find all missing pieces, okay? So here, I'm missing side AB, so I got to find AB. I got to find angle A and angle B. So for me, I like to use SOHCAHTOA whenever I can. Instead of Pythagorean theorem, you are welcome to use Pythagorean theorem here as well, but I'm going to start with trig. So I'm going to find an angle first. So I'm going to find angle A. So if I'm looking at angle A here, here's my opposite side and adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent is going to be tangent. So tangent of angle A is opposite over adjacent. And then remember, to get A by itself and get rid of tan, we're going to do the inverse. So what's going to end up with that is angle A is going to be tangent inverse of 12 over 22.6. So we're going to enter that in the calculator. So second tan to get the inverse. 12 divided by 22.6. The directions say we're going to round all angles to the nearest degree. So the 9 is going to bump that up to 28 degrees. So if angle A is 28 degrees, now to get angle B, I can just do 180 minus those two. So 180 minus 90 and 28. Okay, so when I do that, I believe I get 62. Okay, so now I need to find AB. So again, I'm going to use trig here. You could use Pythagorean theorem, but I'm going to use angle A again. So I want to find side AB. I could choose either the opposite or adjacent to go with that. And I'm looking for the hypotenuse. I'm going to do the opposite. So if I do opposite and hypotenuse, I'm going to use sine. So I'm going to do sine of my angle, 28 degrees, equals opposite over hypotenuse. So 12 over the hypotenuse. We'll just call it h. Okay? Remember, when I have a variable on the bottom, we're going to multiply both sides by that variable to get rid of it. And then I'm going to divide by sine 28. So I have h is equal to 12 divided by the sine of 28. Enter that in our calculator. So 12 divided by sine 28. And I get 20, let's see, we're running this to the nearest tenth, so 25.5. That 6 bumps the 5 up to a 6. So 25.6. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this one. So I need to find missing sides and missing angles. So I'm trying to find side AC, side AB, and then the measure of angle B. Now angle B is pretty quick. Again, I can subtract those two from 180. Let's see, I get 39 when I do that. Okay. Now I'm going to find side AC. So I'm going to use this angle 51. So here is my opposite side, adjacent, hypotenuse. So if I want to find the adjacent side, I know the opposite. I'm going to do tangent. Tangent of 51 equals the opposite over the adjacent, which is AC. Multiply both sides by AC. So I have AC times tan 51 equals 9. Divide both sides by tan 51. So 9 divided by tangent of 51 degrees. 7.2, we're rounding the 10th, so 8 will bump that 2 up to a 3. So 7.3 for AC. Now we need to find the hypotenuse. I'm going to use opposite and hypotenuse here. So then I'm going to do sine. So sine of that angle is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Again, multiply here. So I get, and then I'm going to divide by sine 51. So I'm going to get h is equal to 9 divided by sine of 51. So 9 divided by sine of 51 degrees. And we get 11.6 when I round for side AB. Okay, so solve the triangle means find every missing piece, sides and angles. Okay, so today you guys are going to have some modeling problems, and some phrases you want to learn are things called angle of elevation, angle of depression. So angle of elevation, let's start with that. Angle of elevation is from the horizontal looking up. So it's going this direction. That is the angle of elevation. The angle of depression is from a horizontal looking down. So that is an angle of depression. Now you might notice these, if they're both horizontal, are parallel. So these are always congruent because they're alternate interior angles. So angle of elevation equals angle of depression because of alternate interior angles theorem. Okay, so let's set up, so all of these problems today, you guys, that are modeling problems, you're gonna set up a right triangle that depicts what's going on. Okay, so here we have the angle of elevation from you to the top of a building is 65 degrees. You are 100 feet away from the building. How tall is the building? Okay, so we have this building. You are standing 100 feet away. Okay, so this distance right here is 100. Okay, and then you are looking up at the building. So from the horizontal, so this is our horizontal line, looking up, that angle right there is the angle of elevation. So that is 65 degrees. So this angle right here is 65 degrees. We want to know how tall is the building. Okay, well, here I have a right triangle. So I know if this is my reference angle, here's my hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. So I'm looking for the opposite. I know the adjacent, so I'm going to use tangent. So tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. So get x by itself, we're going to multiply both sides by 100. So 100 times tangent of 65 equals x. So 100 tan 65. So 214.45. And this is in feet, so I'm going to attach that unit. Okay. Second example, the Sears Tower stands 1,451 feet tall. The angle of depression from a person on top of the building to a friend on the ground is 30 degrees. What is the shortest distance between the two friends? Okay, so here is our Sears building. Sears. Okay, so it is 1,451 feet tall. 1,451. Okay, so we have a friend on top of the building, and we have a friend on the ground. Okay, so the angle of depression from the person on top to the friend on the ground is 30 degrees. So the person's looking down at their friend, okay? But remember, we always start from the horizontal. So I'm going to start at the top of the building because that's the height that I have. I'm not adding the height of the person, okay? So that angle from the top of the building to their friend, that angle down is 30 degrees. Okay, so that's the angle of depression from the horizontal looking down. Now, we want to know what is the shortest distance between the two friends. So straight line distance is the shortest distance. Okay, so here's my right triangle, right? This is also 1451. Maybe I'll put it right there. Okay, now this angle is not in the triangle. So remember, this piece is that this angle and this angle are always equal because they're alternate interior angles. Because this is parallel to this, so 30, this one is also 30 degrees. So then I can do 30, here is my hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. We're looking for the hypotenuse, we know the opposite, so O and H go with sine. So sine of 30 equals the opposite, 1451, over the hypotenuse, which we don't know. Okay, get x out of the fraction first. So x times sine of 30 is 1451. And then divide by sine 30. So x is equal to 1451 divided by sine of 30. Punch that into the calculator. $29.02, and this is also in feet. Okay, see if that's the last one. Yep, that is our last example. So again, remember, angle of depression is from the horizontal looking down, angle of elevation is from the horizontal looking up, and those angles are always congruent. So for all the modeling problems today, set up a right triangle and fill in the parts that you know.